Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we are back on the test server looking at the new Doom Tower bosses. I want to thank Plarium for providing the test server. It's really helpful for us to get a bit of, prior knowledge of what's coming, trying to help you guys prepare teams to be able to deal with any new content that's coming out. Sneak preview, we're probably going to get access to some of the new champions before the fusion lands as well. Insider knowledge, so looking forward to that. Now, before I get into it, I just want to thank everybody who's recently been subscribing to my YouTube channel. I just hit 110k subs yesterday, so we're going to do a giveaway based on that. Thank you so much. So to be involved in the giveaway, you need to be a sub to my YouTube channel. Totally free, guys. If you're not subbed yet, if you're like the 50% of people that watch the channel that haven't subbed, totally free. It helps you see when I get a new video drop. And if you hit the bell as well, then you get a guaranteed kind of visual when I drop a vid. But yeah, basically what we're going to do, we're going to give away a big old account. So one of my viewers decided to leave the game, basically got some family commitments, wants to move on from Raid, fair enough. And he said that we can do a giveaway. So I figured what a great time to do it as I hit the 110k subs. So all you have to do is be a sub, and write in your comment, because some people will not want this a new account, by the way. So it's a big bad boy account, but some people don't want that. They just want to work on their own account, which is totally understandable. So if you are interested, in your comment, just write, I don't want to be free to play. Okay, and what I will do is this Sunday on my stream, I will draw from a random comment from this video, the winner, and I'll message them via YouTube. I'll also post it on my Discord. So come and join me on the stream on Sunday if you want to see it pulled live. But this is what is up for grabs. This bad boy account, I mean, it's a beast. Loads of void legendaries, loads of legendaries. Pretty much it will be fast forwarding your progress in the game to straight end game, if you get it. That's not for everyone. Some people don't want to do that, and I totally understand it. But some people love the idea of it. I mean, there is literally thousands and thousands of dollars spent on this account. So let's get it to a home who actually wants it. But there you go. All you need to do is be a sub and write that phrase on the comments and you'll be involved. So for this video then, what we're going to do, we are going to tackle the second new boss. I did a video yesterday on the Griffin. And since then, actually, since that video, we've had a number of comments below with some cool ideas about how to beat the Griffin in a different way. So I'll probably do a follow-up video on that perhaps in a week or so once it's actually live and people have tested some different stuff. But today we're going to be looking at the Eternal Dragon. Quickly before I do it, a lot of people are asking me, is there some funky stuff going on with secret rooms this month? People are saying there's like a Relic Keeper only room or something weird. Nothing like that I've seen. We've got Epic Champions. This is on hard. Epic Champions, HP Champions. So you can get some prep done here. Force Attack Champions. Maybe this is where people thought it was going to be Relic Keeper only, or Relic Keeper needs to be in the mix. Doesn't look like it to me. Rare Spirit Champions. Ogren Tribes Faction. Epic Voids. Magic Support Champions. A little bit niche. Epic Defense Champions should be okay. Rare Attack Champions. Epic Champions from Night Revs. That could be quite tough. Rank 6 Void Champions. That could be tough for the free-to-play world, but then maybe you don't get this high anyway. Rare Magic Champions here. So that's all of the hard ones. I'll show you the normal ones as well, just in case you're interested. We've got Rare Champs, Force Champs, Attack Champs, Champions from the Barbarian Faction only, Rare Voids, Defense Champions. Nothing that seems too out of the ordinary here. Epic Champions, certainly not like a Skinwalker only Epics type go. Epic Champions from the Orcs. This could be quite hard on the normal side for people to have enough champions to do that. Epic Spirit Champions, Support Champs only, Void Champs only, and then last but not least, Epic Magic Champions. That's a little bit niche as well. But there you go. So that's the secret room. So let's get into looking at this Eternal Dragon. Okay then. So Iragoth the Eternal Dragon. We now know it's a Void Affinity. basically, it's a boss that completely messes with cooldowns on your champion. So block cooldown steals on an A1 for 1 turn. I feel like Doom Priest wipes it off really nicely and probably keeps you in the fight. So I'm probably going to use Doom Priest here because of this. The other thing here, there's nothing that says you can't resist all of this, by the way. So I think high resistance might just beat this boss. But we've also got attacks all enemies, inflicts bonus damage for every turn remaining on all enemy skill cooldowns. Okay, so plus 20% damage for each turn of cooldown. So that could be extremely nasty if you've got high cooldown champions, even if you go resist, if you've not used those big abilities yet. Places a fear debuff on enemies with no skills on cooldown. So I feel like, yeah, don't bring your big cooldown abilities in, but we might be able to get rid of this completely as well, and I'll talk through that in a minute. Soul Burst attacks all enemies, puts all enemy skills on cooldown. So he's probably going to do A3 first into A2. So his A2 shouldn't hit that hard if the A3's landed, but it means you're only attacking with A1s. Attacks all enemies, puts all skills on cooldown, gets more turn meter for every remaining skill cooldown. Okay? So these two abilities here, you can actually increase the cooldown of his abilities. So if you bring in people that can lock him out, I think you could lock him out for the whole fight on these A2 and A3 if you've got the right champions and only ever have to worry about this A1. He also summons other minions, so he summons Eternal Priest and 2 Eternal Guards. Basically does this, I think, on a 4-turn cooldown, if I remember rightly. So you can only have 3 minions on the battle at any stage. If you kill the Eternal Priest, he resets your abilities. So taking him out in a timely way can actually be really good for you. Places Eternal Rage on Iragoth for 2 turns if there's only 1 Eternal Priest summoned and no other minions. So if you only kill an Eternal Priest and not a guard as well, then he goes into this kind of rage mode when he summons them again. And the rage increases his speed. He becomes able to ignore unkillable, block damage, and shield, and ignore 50% of the target's defense. That's the big part. 50% target defense ignored. That's going to hit you really hard. Now, what I am wondering about here is, can there be just like straight up unkillable teams built? Because he doesn't ignore unkillable until this happens. Only 1 priest is built. So imagine if you go double man-eater and then 3 hard AoE hitters and speed tune it so that you've always got unkillable up. I wonder if you can just straight up wreck this dragon. So you're always killing out these ads. You stay unkillable all the time, so all this other stuff doesn't matter. I guess it does matter because you'd have to have high resistance on your man-eaters as well. But that's not that hard to do. High resistance man-eaters not that hard to do. So I think it's a pretty viable strat to have an unkillable team here. But you do need to be able to kill these ads. So we can't manipulate any turn meter or anything like that. And the second kind of passive here is at the start of a turn, he sacrifices the priest if he's there, if you haven't killed it. And the priest sacrifice will let him reset the cooldown of all of his abilities and grant him an extra turn. So if you let that priest live, then you're in a lot of trouble. And you can't manipulate his turn meter, so you can't like just speed tune him out. If there's no Eternal Priest on the team, sacrifices a guard instead and heals by 15%. So this is on a 4-turn cooldown. And we'll go, so this skill will be on a 4-turn cooldown at the start of the battle, and will activate and go on cooldown every 5 turns if there's no priests or guards. So the interesting thing here is he doesn't have any protection against cooldown increased skills. And there's a whole bunch of them. You can look on the website if you want to try and find these. So down the side of the homepage, there is a kind of quick link to different people, different champions with different skills. Like you could find decreased defense in debuffs. But if you go into instance, you can find all of the champions with increased skill cooldown or put skill on cooldown. There's 2 different types. So increased skill cooldown, you basically got your Elegaeus, you've got your Basher, Iragoth, which I think is the next epic you get from normal Doom Tower if you've been keeping up with that. Alika, Terror Beast, 2-hack, Bogoth actually doesn't work because his only works if you put Provoke out there. And then there's a few here in the rares, or this is actually an uncommon. Zephyr Sniper, would you believe it, has actually got it on array 1. She could be insanely good for this encounter. 30% chance to put a skill on cooldown on array 1, which is an AoE hitter. Very easy to get, very cheap. So yeah, she could be actually pretty viable for this. If you look at the champions that put the skills on cooldown on full, you've got Blood Gorge can do it. Warlord is going to be top tier here. Sinesha can do it on I think it's like a 4-turn cooldown. And again, you've got a few others. What's Earthsign's value here? Earthsign has got it on his A1, which is pretty cool as well. But he's got quite high cooldowns on the other abilities. So let me show you what I've built out then to try today. So I've actually built my 2-hack out. I like the idea of his A1. So if he does get all of his abilities blocked out, they are quite high cooldown. So it might, for 3 and 4, it might cause you some pain. But he does have a double hitter. If you booked him, 40% chance of increasing the cooldown of 1 skill by a turn. Pretty decent. I've actually built mine high resistance. So I'm hoping he doesn't get locked out at all, but just straight up keeps putting that enemy's abilities on cooldown. We built out a Basher. Pretty decent accuracy in Relentless gear. He's only got a 3-turn cooldown on his increase the cooldowns of all target skills by 2 turns. This is a crazy ability for this fight, I think. I feel like Basher's going to be top tier here. Does have a 4-turn cooldown here as well. This won't work. But yeah, pretty decent. And he brings a weaken on his A1. I'm bringing Doom Priest in just in case we need to cleanse stuff off. Same old, same old. I'm also bringing in Deacon, high resistance, just because he's going to bring us a decreased defense. He's going to bring us a turn meter fill for my team. He doesn't decrease the enemy's turn meter, but he does bring me a speed aura as well. Reason why I like this, Deacon especially, is because the 2 abilities that could go on cooldown, he's going to just use them back to back. So if we do get some pain from the A2, from the dragon, he's going to be able to not cause as much damage. And we're going to be putting Leech on the boss as well, which is going to help us sustain. So Deacon, I think, could be really strong here. I'm also going to bring in Iragoth, just because a lot of people have probably got Iragoth in the vault. And we all thought Iragoth could be great for Doom Tower. He wasn't, but now maybe he is. Because he's got this A2, puts the target skills, like all their skills, on cooldown. I wonder if it works for the passive as well. We will find out. And again, he's got only a 3-turn cooldown on this skill, so could end up being very cool. He's also got this kind of pretty nice passive as well in terms of keeping people alive. So I think that could be pretty nice. But yeah, pretty useful. So let's try him out. Let's see how we get on. I'm going to kick straight onto hard with this team because I'm bringing in quite a big boy team. And we're going to punch straight up, I think, to level 80. Try it out. Because I'm bringing in a team that's pretty well geared. And yeah, I mean, if I can't beat level 80 with this team, then we're going to struggle to help other people that are lower down. So we're going him, we're going him, we're going him. Doom Priest, in case we need it. I shouldn't need Doom Priest because of the way I've got people built, but you never know. And then Deacon. So just to reiterate, speed, decreased defense. We've got weaken, increase the cooldown of his skills. We've got increased lock out the cooldown of his skills. We've got chance to lock out skills and big AoE hits. And then we've got increased attack and a bit of a cleanse going on here. And I'm hoping it's going to be a fully auto comp. I feel like this boss is more auto friendly than the boss we faced yesterday. Definitely, if there's going to be the option to build unkillable teams, that will be pretty ridiculous. 2-hack is a hard hitter as well, so 2-hack can do some nice AoE damage. Just wondering here if I'm facing this on hard. This doesn't feel like these waves are that strong. Let me just check I did do that right. Eternal Dragon 80. I am on hard. I felt like yesterday when we faced the waves, they were much stronger than that. Okay, let's go again. I thought they were like level 250 or something yesterday. Maybe I'm just going insane. So we can pump through the waves pretty comfortably. And even Basher's ability that puts skills on cooldown actually hits really hard. So there are some nice bits to this team. Decreased cooldown there. It's great for waves, Iragoth. Iragoth is actually kind of good for wave control. He's just been pretty bad on boss fights, and there's not that many times where lockout skills is actually that useful, but maybe this is the time. So Coronar gets a go. Good effort. Okay, onto the dragon then. So let's just slow this down. He's starting with 4-turn cooldown here. We're going to get decreased defense away. That's nice. A1, increase the cooldown or anything. We increase the cooldown here. Increase the cooldown of all his skills. So his skills are fully on lockout now. So all he's got is his A1. And his A1 hits pretty hard, actually. Doom Priest is going to cleanse the block cooldown skills off. That didn't get resisted by anyone. Decreased speed's gone out everywhere apart from the boss. That's interesting that A1 didn't get resisted by anyone. I've got high resistance across the board here. So I'm guessing it either can't get resisted. Oh, it did that time. Okay. So looks like... Oh, yeah, that's right. So these 3 high resistance, these 2 haven't got high resistance. That makes more sense. But we're keeping the abilities on lockout pretty well. We're at level 80 here, so we're not sort of skimping on levels. We cannot increase the cooldown of his passive. Really useful to know, because we need now to kill one of these Eternal Guards or we're toast. So we killed one, that's good. He's going to heal based on that, so he's just healed by a good chunk. And we're actually in trouble, to be fair. We are going to die. So we're not healing for enough here, just with Doom Priest alone. Which might just mean we need to be bringing in, instead of Doom Priest, like helping us with that A1 ability, I think we're going to need someone who's kind of a more serious healer in the mix. So I'm wondering if we just sub in then Grush for extra healing, continuous heals over time, also some AoE damage, Seal, AoE damage, locking out those ads, and extra passive healing as well. I feel like Basher on his own potentially locks out this dragon. And if he does, then that's going to be awesome. Obviously, Iragoth could as well on his own. So depending on who you've got, I think either of those two do the job. What I do want to make sure is that Basher has got, though, his lockout ability ready at the start of the fight. So I'm going to just cut auto if I need to. But I think he's got it ready right now. I don't want him to use it. Just check. Would he have had it? Yeah, he would have done. So he would have used it right there. And that would have been pretty nasty for us. So you just want to make sure that you've got your main abilities back at the start of these fights. Because we want him to lock it out here. If he locks out here, she's got to resist there. That's high resistance. Increase the cooldown. There we go. So he now doesn't have his main abilities. He's only coming at us with A1s. Still hits pretty hard, this A1. Now we're going to get decreased defense. I guess maybe a decreased attack buff from Grush would be nice here as well. Because he does hit hard. This dragon, you can't control his turn meter. So if you can reduce some of the damage that's coming at you, that would be really useful. We need to lock out this A2. There it is. Did it land? No, yeah, it did, yeah. So A1's in again. As long as he's got like another... Well, he's got no cooldown on this ability here, so he's probably going to take... What's he going to do? It's gone on 5 turns, so there was no ads for him to eat. So he doesn't spawn the ads at that point. He tries to eat one. The ads weren't there, so he didn't do anything. So I think if you can just out-damage those ads, he becomes considerably easier. And you can see Basher in this setup has got enough speed and enough kind of cooldown to be able to completely lock out all of his other skills. So it feels like this team should win the day. Unless something drastically bad happens, something falls out of sync for me. I feel like this is going to be level 80 done relatively comfortably, really. He's got the ads back. He's getting closer to getting the cooldowns back. I've actually got locked out everywhere. Going to get the Doom Priest passive. Doom Priest, is she now the most valuable champion in the game? That's a question for you. How many How many encounters now do we feel like Doom Priest just comes in and straight up does a great job? Just going to cleanse some stuff there. Just doing a bit of work in terms of damage as well. We are getting close to being in trouble here, though. Getting locked out in different abilities. So maybe we're going to get in trouble here. Unless we get some damage done on these ads. We did lock out his cooldowns as well. It's good. It's good. That relentless set there on Basher has really helped us. Just got us through a kind of tricky period. He's taken a bit of a heal. It's fine. We did take some nasty damage there, but we've got 2 passive healers and someone who's got heal abilities in this team now. So really, we can take a bit of damage. As long as we're not going down, we can take a bit of damage and survive pretty comfortably. And I think this is going to be job done, which for this level of DOOMTOWER already, it shows that it's definitely an easier encounter. If you've got the right sort of champions, if you don't have someone like a Basher or Iragoth, then maybe it's hard, actually, in fairness. But I think a lot of people will have somebody that can do the job. And even if you've got 2 hack or Zephyr sniper, I think you still have a good chance of kind of getting this work done. So I definitely feel like this is easier than the Griffin boss that we faced yesterday. But certainly, what I love about the 2 new bosses... Oh, we've just taken a nasty hit there. What I do love about the 2 new bosses are it brings other champions out of the vault. Yesterday, we saw Brass come out of the vault for the first time in forever. Today, we're seeing Basher as like a real kind of MVP. Oh, we're going to take a hit there, though. We've lost our healer. It's going to be close now, actually. We're just about going to do this, are we? Oh, wow. Finish it. Finish the job. Whew. Actually turned out to be pretty close. But yeah, we've seen, Grush getting more use. We're seeing Basher becoming an MVP. Doom Priest absolutely like flying up the ranks even further. So yeah, I definitely feel like this could be cool. I'm wondering if Basher had enough lifesteal. If on normal, I wonder how high he could go by himself. Maybe not by himself. Maybe like a 2-man like this or a 3-man like this. Let's go right to the top on normal. See if I can 3-man it like this. But yeah, cool boss fight. I think something different. Certainly something different to consider. I feel like there's definitely more than one way to beat this boss, though. I do like, again, the concept of the unkillable stuff being an option. Should be on the right cycle here to get the cooldown. We do need to make sure he goes into the main boss part of the fight with his A2 available, so he wouldn't have had there. As long as he's got his A2 available here, we're in good shape. We've increased the cooldown straight up. Still hitting hard. I mean, we are facing the highest level of this kind of boss fight. But you can see the difference already. The chunks of damage we're doing here compared to what we were doing on the last one. It's massive. Trying to get their abilities back by killing this dude. There he goes. And maybe I need a bit more kind of defensive stats on my Basher because he is taking some pretty hard hits. He might die, actually. Yeah, he did. Okay. Maybe I can't just 3-man it as easy as that. Probably this would have done it. But, I mean, there you go, guys. Look, I think there's some different options here. But in terms of the challenge versus what we had yesterday, definitely feel like this is the easier of the 2. Leave me a comment below. What type of teams are you thinking of building for this fight? Have you got teams ready to go? Also, don't forget, if you want to enter the draw for that free account, for the Mammoth accounts, then just write that comment below and make sure you subscribe to the channel and you can be in the mix. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.